Any memories you want to share?
Last time I was in Atlantic City. I was the Borgatos in Atlantic City, right?
Yes.
Yes, I was playing there, and it was a Saturday, and I was heading for Atlantic City from Toronto, and I got a phone call, and it was this guy on the other line. He's like, "Hey, here you going to Atlantic City?" And I'm like, "Who? Jay?" "Yeah, it's Jay." "Oh, hey, Jay, what's going on?" "Hey, I'm going to be in Atlantic City." I said, "Oh, cool. Hey, want to catch a ride? Catch a ride with me?" I said, catch a ride? "Yeah, catch a ride home." I said, well, I'm heading out of Philly. I got a Southwest flight that it leaves at like Sunday morning at 8 a.m. out of Philly, and then there's a layover in like St. Louis, and then we're going back to L.A. Sunday. Catch a ride with me." I said, "Where? To the airport?" No, back to L.A. I said, "Oh, you got a plane?" "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, cool. When do we leave?" "Right after the show." I said, "Oh, okay. This is awesome." So, he said, "When's your show end?" I was like, 11. He's like, "Oh, well, mine ends at 10, but I'll wait for you." And I said, "All right, thanks, Jay." And, I brought my bag down to the, dressing room, and actually my show started at 9. It ended at 10:30, and we were in the air before 11. And I was back in LA at the Van Nuys Airport at like 3 a.m. And, at 3:30 in the morning, Leno and me were the only two people on on the 101 freeway, 3:30 in the morning, and we're driving a Fiat, and he was going like 90 miles an hour. And he just drove me to my house. And I thought, wow, this is nice. I did a show in Atlantic City on Saturday night, a late show on Saturday night, and now it's Saturday night and I'm home in L.A. This is insane. And I thought, I got to get one of these airplanes.
Or keep up that friendship, one or the other, right?
Yeah, the only problem with the friendship is like, Jay, you going to be back in Atlantic City? No, I'm going to be in Vegas. You sure you don't want to go to Atlantic City? Yeah, I got to keep the friendship going, and I got to keep the schedule. I just got to find out, like, where's Leno playing? All right, that's where we book our gigs.
So tell me about what you're going to be talking about in AC. Do you know yet, or has it come to you more spontaneously?
Oh, geez. I really complain about everything under the sun. I do 95-minute sort of stand-up, one-man sort of show, a kind of an evening with Adam Carolla. I try to tell people, because everyone's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And it's like, I don't know, it's like, it's stand-up, it's stories, it's anecdotes, it's jokes, it's stand-up basically, but it's a little different formatically than, sort of set up punchline kind of format. But an evening with Adam Carolla. If you like me, if you like my sense of humor, you will not be disappointed. Even if you don't like me, you'll be pleasantly surprised. And if you don't know who I am, you should screw yourself, because I've been working at this for a while, and that's really insulting.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of things. That's true.
Yeah, you should really know. That one would be on you. That's not my fault. I've been out there.
And do you think you'll be doing some political stuff? I saw you just signed with Fox News also. So. Yeah.
No, I don't really. I don't. The stuff becomes. I guess everything becomes political when you have an opinion on anything, because sort of ultimately, unless you're talking about, your favorite Girl Scout cookie, which, by the way, the people that buy the shortbread trefoils, there's something wrong with those people. I want them rounded up and put down. You got the peanut butter ones, and you got the Samoas. You have all the different varieties, and you just go with the plain white, could get it anywhere at any time, nothing cookie. But anyway, what happened with me is I'm not a political guy. I just have opinions. And so when stuff would come up and people would ask me about it, or I'd start ranting about it, and then it turned into some sort of political thing. But I'm not really a political person. I'm not no interest in politics. I rarely vote. I have no interest in the government. My whole thing with the government is I want them to get out, just leave me alone, essentially. I'm not interested in them. My politics are, you asswipes, pack it up and get out of the way more than anything else. It's weird. It's like, oh, you're for small government, so, you're a Republican. It's like, nah, I'm not really. It's like when people call me an atheist, as if that's my religion is being an atheist, and my religion is just nothing. That's my religion. I want nothing. I don't want to go to a church of atheists. I don't want to go to rallies for atheists. I don't want to get together with like-minded atheists. My whole point is I don't want anything to do with any of it. And so then but then you become an atheist, and that becomes its own thing. But my point is I'm trying to get away from the thing. So it's this weird thing where it's like, oh, you're conservative, huh? And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just the madman that it pays the government. Look, I live in California. We have that highest sales tax, or maybe second highest sales tax, one of the highest income taxes, and I pay a ton in taxes and get nothing. Really, California is LA's a dump, and they provide nothing. You call 911, you'll get put on hold. It'll be busy. They don't come to your house. Like, honestly, it's a crappy place to live. It's great because of the weather, but in terms of the city council, the schools are unusable in LA. There's more traffic than they've done nothing to alleviate traffic. There's graffiti everywhere. The only place there's not graffiti is where they put the razor wire around the freeway sign. So every freeway sign that you pass under has razor wire going around it. I mean, it's a dump. And the thing is, all right, I already pay a ton in taxes, and I can't use the school. So you want to do what with the taxes?
Right.
You want to raise them? You guys getting enough money? And how are you doing? I mean, how's LA doing? How's the school system performing? What are we, in the 40s nationally? And what we pay our teachers, they're in the top percentile, but the schools are in the bottom percentile. So your plan is do what? Pay more money to the schools? Because I don't feel like that's working. Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, I know. We just need a little more money, and then we can right this ship. Like, you guys get almost the most money, and you can't right the ship already. It's like, if I could get just another 8-ball, I could kick this coke habit. Like, I don't think that's the way it works.
Is this what you'll be talking about on Fox
News?
Or?
No, I don't talk anything about it. I really don't get into politics.
So what are you going to talk about on Fox News then?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever they want to talk about is whatever I talk about. I don't know till that day.
Oh.
They just tell you what we're talking about that day.
So you just kind of show up and chat with them?
They tell you, like, noon that day what you're going to be talking about at 1:30 that day.
Right.
They go, it's the 1-year anniversary of Occupy Wall Street, and Clint Eastwood's talking to a bar stool. Those are your topics. And then you just go, oh, okay. and mainly just going and kind of winging.
Right, right. And is that what you do for the podcast too? Is that
what I do for the podcast? What I do for the podcast is I just sort of go through my day. Always carry a little buck slip with me, and I make little notes. And people tweet me things like, "Hey, have you seen this?" or "You're going to hate this," or "This is going to piss you off," or whatever it is. And you know, and I just start kind of collecting little bits and pieces of things that I want to talk about, and then we get started.
And why do you think it's clicked so well with audiences? I mean, the Guinness record for most downloads, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Well, you know, you have to do it consistently. I mean, you have to basically do it, you know, for me, I've done it every day for over 3.5 years. So, I've not missed, and I do mine 5 days a week, like a radio show. Number one. Number two, you have to have a message. You have to have a voice. I mean, you have to have something that people want to hear. Otherwise, they're not gonna tune you in. I mean, you know, it's pretty age old. It's, you know, I used to do a show called Loveline, and people get way too caught up in the format. You know, they're always like, "Well, what's the secret of the success, the Loveline?" You know, and I'd go, "Me," and they'd go, "Okay, seriously," and I'd go, "I'm serious," and they go, "No, but seriously." And I'd go, "I'm serious. It's me and Drew, and that's Loveline, and that's why the show's successful. And if you got 2 other guys to do it, then it's 2 guys answering phone calls in the middle of the night about sex, you know, or anything. But that's the success." And they're like, "Oh, wow." And I'm like, "Look, I'm not being pompous. You just asked me why the show's successful, and I'm telling you it's because of me. I don't know why was Johnny Carson's show successul? You know, it was Johnny Carson, you know? I mean, I don't know why a certain restaurant's successful. They make food that people want to eat. It's not musicians, chefs, comedians, podcasts. It's not, I don't know, why was Jimi Hendrix successful? He played the guitar in a way that people wanted to hear it. Yeah, but there's tons of guys who play the guitar. I know. He did it in a way that people wanted to hear it. And it's like, look, it's the same thing with podcasts. There's 250,000 podcasts on iTunes, and you haven't heard of way more than 99% of them. And if you want to know why, they're not saying whatever people want to hear. That's how it works. It works that way for writers. Mm-hmm. It works that way for almost every profession except for modeling.
Except for what?
Modeling. Because let's face it, that's just you looking good in a bathing suit.
Right, right. So, are you at all bitter about your Celebrity Apprentice and Dancing with the Stars experiences? Did you think you were going to win either show or both shows?
I'm still reeling about the Dancing with the Stars thing. As a matter of fact, it's a fresh wound, and you just ripped the scab right off it. Pretty pissed about that.
And why do you think it didn't work out for you there?
Yeah, you really asking that question 5 years on? Dancing with the Stars?
We could talk about, I want to talk about Celebrity Apprentice. That's more recent. We can talk about that. Why did that go wrong?
Well, no, Dancing with the Stars is, they start with, 13 people, and then 12 of them you have to ask why it didn't work out for them. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I did, 5 weeks on that show, and then they booted me because I'm not a good dancer, but I didn't really care. I didn't really have any.
What about Celebrity Apprentice? Were you more invested in that?
No, not really. I should have been, because that I had a better chance of winning that. But once the cable was bad, once I realized how bad the cable was in my hotel room, and I was put up there for a number of weeks, I was ready to go home. So I was fine when they booted me out of there. I had no problems with it. Because like I said, I really just want to get out of there. I don't live in New York, so I was kind of miserable being away from home and all. So there's no problem.
Okay, and so you mentioned Loveline, and I guess you sort of answered my question, but I wanted to ask you anyway. That was kind of your first big thing, at least, on TV, and what did that sort of lay the groundwork for, you to do all these other things? I mean, did you learn a lot from that show? I mean, I guess, was that where you sort of formed your idea about, it really being about personality driving all these different successes, or, what did you learn from Loveline, I guess is my question.
Yeah, Loveline, in TV, you need to get reps. You really need to get up there and do it a lot. And this is a way for me to do it a lot. And it was nice to do so many episodes of the TV show and so many episodes of the radio show. And really, you can't be good at radio and you can't be good at TV unless you do 1,000 shows. As bad as that sounds, no matter how talented you are, funny or whatever you are, you're just going to be no good at the beginning. So that let me be no good sort of in a hurry, because we did a lot of them. And after, a couple of years of doing that, I was, I'd gotten my reps. It wasn't doing a spot here and doing a spot there. It was, Loveline, the TV show, was on every night for an hour on MTV, and the radio show was on every night for 2 hours on syndicated radio. So I was able to, really just get my reps in the show, and that helped a lot. But you never done learning.